Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Alan. We're going to talk about things you should not be sharing on social media, even though you think you're doing something good and helping others. You can screen this post that has been shared 123,000 times on Facebook, and it's bullshit. And we're going to talk about why and how simply using your brain realize it's fake and false and not share it. I know people are trying to do something good, but they're not when they're sharing false information, fear that doesn't need to be there, and maybe preventing accurate information that will actually help people stay more safe. So we just need to stop sharing stupid stuff, bullshit. I talked about this with the wasp spray. And even yesterday, I have a TikTok that's been seen 24,000 times, hundreds of likes and comments. It's on Reflex Protect. I posted it Sunday, but obviously somebody asked, wasp spray, just saying. And I had to reply, absolutely not. Wasp spray is terrible for self-defense. There's articles, books, different things you can go research and see why. Also, do you want to be carrying a big giant can of wasp spray around? And if you're intentionally planning to use it on people, that can get you in legal trouble. Sure, if you just randomly grab something and use it to defend yourself, whatever it is, even wasp spray, and if you did, you're going to be okay legally because it was a spur of the moment. But when you are planning to use it or position around a place to use it, that's going to get people upset with you. I've seen it happen in organizations. That's why you use pepper spray or preferably Reflex Protect. Both are better than wasp spray. But now let's talk about the one today. And again, this has been shared 123,000 times already by people that probably are wanting to share it to do something good, but they're not. So let's look at this. So I'm going to read it here for you. For those that are just listening, there's a picture of a tire with a zip tie around one of the spokes in the rim. Okay. So a little zip tie on the tire. And this is the text that went with this. Warning. My nephew and his girlfriend went to Major Friday night. It was late. They are young, apparently didn't notice anything or anyone following them. However, at some point in time, once home, they noticed a zip tie was placed on their front driver's side rim. They took a picture and Mr. notified the Mooresville police. They came out and let them know that sex traffickers and drug traffickers place this on victims' tires sometimes, or tires, terrible punctuation. So victims' tires, sometimes it can be laced with fentanyl to make the victims pass out so they can take them. They let her know to never remove it because that gives them time to kidnap them. Please, if young daughters who drive, make them aware and tell them to always watch their surroundings. This is scary and too close to home. And that's bullshit. Okay. Now, a friend of mine forwarded this to me and said, is this true? I get a lot of things sent to me asking if it's true or not and regarding the safety and self-defense. Is this good? Is this not? So this was sent to me saying, is this true or not? Initial first response was, I've never read that or seen that in any of the law enforcement materials that I've read on sex trafficking and human trafficking. Don't remember anybody talking about the conferences I've gone to on human trafficking and sex trafficking. So that's my initial response. Then I was like, let's think about this. If a criminal is relying on somebody seeing a zip tie on their tire in the dark, leaving a place at night, they're not going to be very successful. Because how many of us would notice a zip tie on our tire in the dark, leaving a party or an event or something at night? You're talking a very, very, very low percentage that somebody might notice that. Okay, so it's bullshit. Now, I did a little bit more research after I replied, it's bullshit, and I thought about it, because you just think about it and realize that's stupid. And no, nobody's looked at their tires that closely when they leave an event. And a criminal, that would be a very low success rate. And so what, they're putting zip ties on tires, waiting for nobody. Oh, they didn't notice it either. Let's go find another car, put a zip. No, that's not going on. But did a little bit of research and found a whole bunch of articles online talking about how this was false and bullshit. That police department never said any such thing. Then I went and pulled up some articles on fentanyl. If that zip tie was covered with powder of fentanyl and you got it all over your hands, you would not pass out. You would not go unconscious. You'd go wash your hands. The same as if you come up with somebody with a fentanyl overdose and there's fentanyl on them and you're like, oh, I'm afraid to help them. No, you can help them. The contact with the powder and the fentanyl, it's not going to harm you. You go wash it off if it gets hands or so forth. And there's medical articles out there about that, mainly aimed at first responders helping those people, not being afraid to touch them and help them because something would happen. It's like, no, it's not going to do that if just on contact. So everything about this is bullshit, except telling your daughters, telling everyone to pay attention to their surroundings. That's the only good advice in this whole thing. That's something I preach all the time. Pay attention to your surroundings. We should all be doing that. And and I used to glance at my tires more than I do. I've gotten a little lazy because new vehicles tell you if your tire pressure is low or flat or anything. So I'm a little bit out of the habit that I used to have when I'd walk around the car and notice and everything. I'm also in a safer neighborhood than some of the places I used to live. I mean, some of the places I used to go and live, and like when I lived down in Los Angeles and would go do things there and take exotic dancers when I was doing security for them and bodyguard work for them in different places. Yes, I would do a circle of the car and such to make sure and visually inspect it before I got in. I'm a little bit out of that habit. So I don't know if I would recognize a zip tire on my front tire or a zip tie on my front tire all the time. So anyway, it's bullshit. And 123,000 people have shared it. And I don't want you sharing things that are false, even if you're trying to do something good. We want to share positive things, accurate things, things that can help people, not things that are fake and false and might put an unnecessary fear into people and so forth. We could get into a lot of other topics, but I want to stay on the safety stuff, like the wasp spray and this. There's been other things that used to go about, women should cut their hair really short because rapists like long hair. Not founded in truth whatsoever. And there was this post and it was shared thousands and hundreds of thousands times, if not million times, with all this rape advice that most of it was not correct, not accurate when you look at real rapes and real rape statistics. So, I mean, like I said, the big one telling women they should cut hair short because rapists like long hair. Unfounded bullshit. But it got shared many, many times. Don't want people doing that. Want you to share accurate things. If you're not sure, do a little research. I mean, a little bit of research on that tire picture and thing came up, a whole bunch of stuff talking it false. Actually, if you go to that picture where it's been shared 123,000 times, scroll through the comments. There's comments there because that's one of the things I did. and a whole bunch of comments saying this is false, this is bullshit, and sending links showing proof that it was. So come on, people, we got to do better than that. Good morning to some folks. Jay and Vicky are here. Thank you, Jay, Vicky, for saying hello. Appreciate you being here. Dixon's here. Dixon said, just like in the movies, use a lighter and ignite whatever you spray out of an aerosol can. Yeah, getting your wisdom and your accuracy from movies, not quite the wisest thing to do. You know, Hollywood magic, it's cool on the screen, but not real life. Dixon also said, anyway, I wouldn't be fiddling with tie with my hands. No, the only thing making contact would be my trusty pocket knife. And that's true too. And I always carry a knife. And if I did see that, you know, you could just slip it off. But the truth is, fentanyl, getting it on your hands, just go wash your hands. Obviously, don't touch your mouth, don't touch your eyes or face. Just common sense, like we do for anything. We wash our hands if we've touched different things before we touch sensitive parts of our body. But fentanyl will not hurt you if you put some on your hands. Just wash it off. Thad's here. Thad said there's a similar post about criminals putting flyers on windshields. Yep, there's more and more of that all the time. They're just BS. I don't know who starts them. I don't know their purpose for starting them, other than get lots of shares, lots of likes. But the many people that share them are sharing it thinking they're doing something good, and they don't realize, and they haven't thought about it, that it's fake. It's not good. I said 123,000 shares. I wish I'd get 103,000 shares of this video letting people know that other post was bullshit. Okay? But probably not going to, because people share, who knows why they do, but they share the fear stuff instead of the accurate a lot more often. Good morning, Samuel. Appreciate you being here. Samuel said, thank you for the education and knowledge. You are very welcome. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm trying to do. I try to share realistic things, common sense things, because common sense is not commonly practiced, to help people stay safe so they can enjoy more of life, so they can defend themselves either physically or with Reflex Protect or something else if they have to defend themselves because something went wrong with the awareness and avoidance, and just try to help people enjoy more of life, be motivated, inspired to do good things, help other people, and be a positive person in society, which is what I'm trying to be myself. And that's what I'm trying to help others be exceptional and stay safe and enjoy life while they do it. Time is one of the best teachers. It can be. Thank you, Samuel. Everybody, appreciate you being here. Share this around. Let others know what's real, what's not, so we can stay safe and enjoy life. Lots more at enjoylifesafely.com. Be sure to go there and sign up for the newsletter. Every week I send out information on staying safe, defending yourself, enjoying life, and being exceptional. Get that newsletter, enjoylifesafely.com. Be sure to come back tomorrow. If you join me live, you can ask Nikolai questions, a great young martial art instructor that I've gotten to know over the last 5-6 years. Really great young man. I say young because I'm getting old, but I'm friends with his father and friends with him. Great artist. He just put out a new little book on journaling for martial artists, that if you are a martial artist, you should be journaling and writing stuff down. I used to always do it in a regular notebook. Nikolai made a book that you can use, make it even more organized, and make sure that you have a good reference later when you're older and you want to look back at that younger training. Great book. And he's going to be on here live tomorrow with Coffee with Alan. We're going to be talking about martial arts, his book. So join us live to ask him questions, or be sure to catch a replay of that. It's going to be a good one. Take care, everybody. Make it a terrific Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow.